Time for 32 Thoughts presented by GMC and the new Sierra AT4X. The latest podcast with Elliotte and Jeff is a fantastic conversation about Connor Bedard, native of North Vancouver, so I recommend that highly. And Vancouver, Elliotte, is where we begin tonight.
Yes, first of all, respect to the Boeser family. It's an emotional night there. It's Hockey Fights Cancer Night in Vancouver as the Canucks play the Arizona Coyotes, and everybody thinking about Duke Boeser. Brock Boeser won't play tonight in that game, and you know, the team's not commenting and his representatives aren't commenting, but from what we understand, Boeser's representatives have been given permission to talk to other teams about a potential move. Now, Boeser has been struggling. Obviously, he's got to play better, but I think there's coming to a realization here that maybe it's time to explore this. So I don't know where it's going to go, but I do think Boeser's representatives have permission to talk to other teams, although at this point in time, the team and the agents have not confirmed.
That's news. So let's go through some tournaments and some special occasions. Jeff.
Okay, Ron, we'll start with the Spangler Cup, the annual holiday tradition at Davos, and always fun to watch this one. And, you know, Team Canada this year will be made up mainly of, like we've seen in the past, American Hockey League veterans, Canadians playing in Europe, a lot from Switzerland right now. And one player who doesn't check either of those boxes, who was asked, and he said, I'm not available, unfortunately, is Joe Thornton, ex-Bruin, Shark, Leaf, Panther, etc. Would have been fun to see Jumbo playing in Switzerland, but it is not to be, as it seems. Now, Team Canada will be coached by Travis Green. Shane Doan is, of course, a general manager. He's already brought aboard Scott Niedermayer as well. But, guys, there are a couple of more names it sounds like are going to be added to this mix as well. It sounds like Daniel Briere of the Philadelphia Flyers and Ray Whitney as well will join Shane Doan in a management capacity. Both are considered future GMs in the National Hockey League. Briere was a finalist for the Montreal job, and Ray Whitney was one of the finalists for San Jose.
Jeff, with the postponement of the 2024 World Cup of Hockey, the NHL needs an AllStar Game in February of 2024 after we go to Florida this year. And I think there is some Canadian interest. Now, I think one of the suggestions that's been kind of thrown around out there is, should there be a rotation of 7 to 10 cities that players would like to go to in the winter? I'm not sure the NHL agrees with that, but I know it's been thrown out there. But like I said, I think there's some Canadian interest. Edmonton's got a new building. Montreal loves to host events, although they just had the draft.
Yep.
But I do wonder about Toronto. I think Toronto is interested, Jeff, and I think they're a potential bidder.
You know, I think one of the reasons why, you know, Toronto makes a lot of sense, this was supposed to be one of the anchor cities for the World Cup of Hockey, and as you mentioned, there is a feeling around the NHL that after, you know, going south, the sunshine is kind of catnip for a lot of the players. You know, San Jose and Los Angeles, Florida now, and before that, Vegas. It might be time to get into some snowy climbs. All right, Team Canada and the World Juniors. It sounds as if we should look for an announcement on Monday. That's the way things are trending, and I'm told that is the plan as of now. Ron, last week we mentioned Dylan Guenther of the Arizona Coyotes. He's expected to be one of the NHLers that play, and it does very much sound like the Seattle Kraken will make Shane Wright available. That decision has to be made in the short order. And also want to congratulate Marie-Philippe Poulin, the GOAT, ladies and gentlemen, today inducted into the Boston University Athletics Hall of Fame, class of 2022. She's on campus. There she is last night, dropping the puck between the BU Terriers and the Maine Black Bears. Team Canada PWHPA star left BU the all-time leader in goals with 81, assists with 100, and points with 181. And from all of us here at Hockey Night in Canada, Marie-Philippe Poulin, congratulations.
Sensational. Jeff, Marek and Elliotte Friedman. Jeff, you had a lot of friends at the Windsor Spitfire at Kitchener Rangers game last night. Noah Morneau is an incredible story. He lost his parents, so did Christian Lou's dad, Rob, and mom, Tricia, back in 2016 when they were 12 and 11. Noah was drafted by the Windsor Spitfires, and last night, OHL Play of the Night. He makes the beautiful reception backhand pass, and that's how you do it, Nick Suzuki. He knew how to do, as you call it, Jeff, the ball hockey catch and release, and a fabulous goal for Noah Morneau. Andrew and Leslie and Claire, you took in the boys. Jack and Denise, grandparents, Tricia's mom, everybody in Windsor will be so happy to see Noah Morneau with that fantastic goal last night at Kitchener. You're the heart of hockey. A short break, we'll check in with Kelly Rudy, Jennifer Botterill on Hockey Night in Canada next.